believe velociraptors were not as big as they showed in the movie, right?
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
much smaller.
Yeah, velociraptors were much more smaller. The curious thing is, like, say, for example, when Spielberg actually made the movie, the velociraptors were actually based on a dinosaur called Deinonychus. So velociraptors were not that big. So basically, what happens is, like, after the movie came, there was a guy called Jim Kirkland. He's the state paleontologist in Utah State. So he actually went around and found a dinosaur the same size of the velociraptors that they show in the movie. They had the huge killing claws. They were like totally big, and they were exactly like the ones that they showed in the movie, except that this one is called Eutheraptor. Velociraptors were really big. I mean, like, if you really happen to literally call the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, those are not velociraptors, but those were like Eutheraptors, and they were feathered. So it was not only smaller, it was also feathered.
This is another thing that was not told to me when I was young, was that dinosaurs, most of them apparently had some form of hair or feathers.
Yeah.
So the picture that we have of them, of these lizards, that's slightly off, right? They were more like birds.
It is like, and that's the reason why Jurassic Park is one of the most amazing movies ever made. The thing is, like, the cultural impact and the scientific revolution it created. I mean, they basically, until 1993, before the 80s, people understood dinosaurs are slow-moving reptiles. They move really slowly. They don't have a fast metabolism, and they get like sloths, and they're like
Very dumb.
Very dumb.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, after that one, the dinosaur revolution happened when people started finding more evidence for dinosaurs being very active. They were like exactly the ones that they showed in the movie. And Jurassic Park happens to be the first movie that showed dinosaurs in that way. It was very close to reality than it is compared to the previous movies. So most of the and other things, like we started digging more. We started collecting more fossils, especially the fossils from China. So those fossils were impressive, so impressive. They were well preserved that even the soft parts. So when it comes to fossils, only the hard parts end up as fossil. The soft parts rots away and eaten by bacteria or by other environmental factors. You don't see them anymore. So when it comes to dinosaurs, the recent fossils actually show that dinosaurs were furry. So there are some dinosaurs like Sinosauropteryx, Caudipteryx, and other ones that were densely feathered. And we also have evidences that Eutheraptor had quill feathers in their arms. So we have small markings in their arm bones that shows that these dinosaurs had feathers all over the body. The thing is, like, these feathers didn't really help these animals to fly, but initially it could have helped these animals to maintain their temperature. It might have helped them to keep warm. And at one point, it started helping them to run faster, glide, and then it started flying with it. So evolution is more about repurposing existing organs. So it's not like suddenly the environment changed that you evolve a new trait, but instead of evolving a new trait, what normally animals, what populations do is to repurpose something which is already there. So in this case, what these animals evolved to keep them warm, help them to glide and later to fly.
So this image that I have of this dinosaur, this giant lizard that's chasing me, could actually be a giant bird. It just looks like a bird, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, just go after I've always thought about an ostrich chasing you. Imagine like an ostrich kicking you or running after you. I mean, like, these are giant birds. I saw a vulture in a zoo recently. Like, normally you see all these animals flying really high. Like, very rarely, it was a painful sight to see these animals being chained, but they really had to have a really thick chain to tie the animal to the bark of a tree. That was huge. Like, there are very huge birds, Arctic terns and other things. They're really albatross. These are very huge birds. I mean, like, we hardly we kind of overestimate or underestimate their size often because birds are flying really high. We don't see them very up and close, but birds are impressively. Some birds are impressively big, and like, you should actually see the claws of a raptor. Birds of prey, like just the normal vultures and eagles and owls. I took my little daughter to a zoo recently, and I happened to show. I mean, like, there was a parrot, and they made the parrot sit on my finger. Like, only after that one, I realized how sharp the talons are.
Yeah.
It was really sharp. I mean, like, imagine something like a heavy animal just like pouncing on you and like doing the same to you. Just not a parrot, but a dinosaur. So birds are terrifying creatures again.